Let's talk about Ozempic.
Yes, would love to. I am so excited for this topic.
And why, my darling, are you excited for this topic?
Well, number one, because it's not a political issue.
You guys, we just needed a break. We needed a tiny break.
Yep.
There's been 5 gazillion things a minute in this administration. It's been breathtaking, as it has been for all of you. And so Jolene and I were like, we need a second.
Which I think is good for you and I, because I hope we have more of these conversations where we get, again, we're different people with different backgrounds and different lives. But here's an issue that is not in a political nature, but I want to know where you come from, like what your thoughts are on something that's not Republican or Democrat, but from your perspective.
Well, it's a societal issue at this point, and really a health issue.
I think that obesity is such a huge problem in the U.S. that anything that helps diminish the effects that obesity has on our culture, on people's health. There are so many things that are affected by this obesity epidemic in our country that anything that can help this issue is a positive to a degree. As someone who has struggled with her weight all of her life, I've been on a diet since I was in 6th grade. Like, I go off the diet and then back on. I mean, I literally cannot remember a time in my life where I felt good about my body. And knowing how much that consumes you, from what's my next meal, what am I going to eat, what am I craving, or I feel guilty about what I just ate or what I had at my last meal and my next, I mean, those thoughts in my head are constant. And so I think anything that can help, if there is something that helps with that issue, that they have finally found a trigger. And I mean, hell, I was on Dexatrim when I was I remember being on Dexatrim when I was in junior high.
Yeah.
And my friend Jill Byer brought it to me. It was like we were doing drugs.
Well, it is a drug. It's speed.
Right? And she brought it to school and I took it and I was so excited, but I was so nervous because my mom would have killed me if she would have known that I took it. But I was so excited that there could be a pill that could not make you be hungry. So that's what I think.
I went into this topic with my own preconceived ideas about it, and then I did a bunch of research on what Ozempic is. I think that this is an enormous issue. Yes, obesity is a problem. Our food source is a huge problem. Our food is making us sick as well. I grew up with an obese mom, and she tried every diet possible, and her food addictions and struggles just permeated in our family life. I mean, I remember feeling fat when I was 6 years old. Like, it is so deep. I hear you. Makes my heart hurt for you. There's a lot here because this is about like women's bodies. And not just women, but we're 2 women. You know, I can only speak to my experience and the pressures of, you know, what we've been fed societally in magazines and movies. And then I decided to become an actor, which is what a shit show. I mean, I spent my entire life starving myself, and to the point where I recently got diagnosed with osteoporosis because I've starved myself. And this is a side note, but the immediate thing that someone wants to put me on is a really toxic drug that costs $4,000 a month without insurance, that gives you tons of side effects. And I'm like, hold on a second, I'm super active. Shouldn't we start with, am I eating something wrong? And so I took it upon myself to advocate for myself about, all I do now is strength train. Like, that's all I do. And I'm eating differently. I ate pretty well before, but like, I'm taking my power to figure this out. And this is a side note, but it's sort of absolutely connected, where in the Ozempic research that I was doing, we'll put it in the show notes, but there's a couple great podcasts that I listened to. This man, Dr. Mark Hyman, he had Callie Means and Dr. Tina Moore on. Callie Means is a public advocate, right? He's a
Yeah.
health public policy guy, and he's very passionate, sometimes too passionate, in my opinion.
Oh, I love him.
He was very passionate about our food and the environment, that doctors should not be prescribing to 12-year-old children, and now they've lowered it to 6-year-old children in the last 2 months of this podcast, that if you're obese, you go on Ozempic. And he was fiercely against it, because he's like, wait, what about exercise? What about the foods we eat? And it's going to have to be a whole overhaul of regenerative farming and all kinds of things.
Yep.
The soil's
Yeah.
screwed up. Like, the food is gross. Like, it's not just like, okay, eat better. Like, the entire country needs to get on board and say, we are going to farm differently. We're going to, like, all of it. We're not going to have food deserts in poor neighborhoods.
Yep.
People in poor neighborhoods will have access to fresh organic food.
Yep.
You know, it's
Yep.
not just the privilege of the white rich people, you know,
Right.
and that's easier said than done. And the one thing that I thought was, in the research, was every single doctor and they were more in the functional medicine side, but they would say that the issue with Ozempic is the dosing and the management problem. So that when Novartis I think is how is the name of
Novartis.
the drug,
Yeah.
Novartis, is the drug company that has created Ozempic. And they have GLP-1s and peptides. And Dr. Tina Moore was talking about how if you use these peptides in tiny doses, she has found, like, it helps inflammation of the brain, of the heart. It regenerates tissue. Like, it does all these incredible things. And what you are talking about, they refer to as food noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's that, you know, and I grew up with it. My mother, it was every day, all day long for years. And that it started to turn that off. But what they found, when you hear Ozempic has these, like, crazy side effects, Novartis creates this dosage, and it's like a one-size-fits-all for the entire population. And it's like, I'm just going to throw out a number, this is going to be wrong, but it's like, it's 15 milligrams versus 0.8 milligrams. What these doctors are saying is you need to start slow and low and see how your body reacts to it. And why all these side effects are having is that it's like a one-size-fits-all, and you're slamming your body, and your body can't handle it. So it throws up or has constipation. I mean, there's suicidal ideation. There's a lot of things that, and what I struggle with is that, well, number one, they say that it costs $5 to make this drug. In Europe, it's $60 a month. And the United States, it's $1,800 a month, covered by insurance. And most people can't afford compound pharmacy doctors who can do this slow and low. So again, it's sort of like obese people. And if you're in a food desert and you maybe have insurance, so you're just drugging the shit out of this poor human being.
Yeah.
And I hear great things. I hear people,
Yeah.
you know, feel so much better. And, you know, and there's a whole argument of, like, oh, you know, what happens when you get off, or should you be on it for life, or I don't know.
Okay, so let's go back to, have you ever struggled with your weight?
Oh, God, absolutely.
Tell me in what way? Like what does that mean to you?
I remember being in first grade and being chubby and being teased. And then I was on the swim team and I started to lean out a little bit, like first or second grade. Weight was always an issue in our family, let's just say. My brother and I both struggled with it, teased. I mean, and there's obviously some body dysmorphia. I'm a pretty small person, and I've always been a pretty small, I haven't, you know, I'm 5'1". I didn't grow after 8th grade, but because I'm 5'1", any amount of weight you can see. So, and I was like a cardio queen, like Dr. Mary Claire Haver talks about. Yeah. Like in the 80s, I did cardio for fucking ever, step classes, and it was just like, how skinny can you get?
Ever since I've known you, you've always had a cute little figure. Like, I've never seen you chubby or big, or you've never been on a diet that I've known you?
Maybe since we've known each other, I've just been very strict. Very strict. Like, I can't eat that. I shouldn't eat that. Oh shit, I ate that. I think we all do it. And I think there's a lot of body dysmorphia too.
Because I think of, and it wasn't very long ago, I mean, within the last 5 years, where we were embracing big girls. You know, it's the Lizzo and the
sort of body positivity thing.
Yes, and it was what's her name? All about that bass,
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was
yeah.
like, okay, and big bottom girls, and it was almost like, okay, everybody's getting bigger, so instead of fighting it, let's just
in COVID. I know we were baking bread and we were doing all kinds of stuff.
Yes. So I felt like there was a time, not in the very distant past, where people were like, well, screw it. We can't fight it, so let's embrace it. Like, you're big and you're beautiful, and that's the way it is. And then all of the sudden, there was this drug that came out and could make you thin very easily, and all of a sudden it turned. Like, oh, nope, you do want to be thin again.
Yeah, I
right?
mean,
Do you feel like that?
Well, like gastric bypass was a big deal, I think, in the 90s and the aughts, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I guess what concerns me after doing the research that I did is that all these doctors were saying that they hoped whomever is on this drug, that their doctor is saying, you have to eat well and lift weights. Like, there's no negotiation. This is what you have to do if you want to be on this drug, because Ozempic can cause muscle loss. And that's just bad. As a girl that has researched everything about osteoporosis at this point, that's bad for your bones. You want to be strong.
Okay, so then do you look at it as, okay, there's a magic shot that if you take, it will take away the food noise and your appetite and all that, but so much so that if you've got to make sure that you're eating the right things, because then if you don't exercise and if you just use it in terms of managing your appetite, then you're not eating, and so that's where they're losing muscle mass.
Otherwise known as skinny fat.
Skinny fat.
Have you heard that before?
No, I
Where it's
haven't.
just sort of, you're kind of wasting away, but your body needs muscle to be strong. And especially as women, we really need to be as strong as possible to be able to live well the next 30, 40 years. And I remember, Jolene, like, I have been a yoga girl forever. And at least in New York City, the mind fuck was be as tiny as possible. I mean, it's really screwed up. Tons of fasting, take a ton of classes, and people would be like, oh my God, you look amazing. And your like bones are sticking out. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm really thin. Like, I had a doctor at one point, 15-ish years ago, we just went for a primary checkup. And she was like, she sat me in the office and she said, you need to gain some weight. You're too thin. And I was like, and what did my brain go? Amazing.
That is, oh God.
How fucked up is that?
What a compliment.
What a compliment. But then I left her office and I went, oh, fuck. What am I? And now, having gone through this bone thing, now I'm like changing your brain into, wait, being strong is important, like building muscle.
Yeah.
I used to, when I'd work out, being an actor, I was like, I can't get big. And of course, Ozempic is rampant in Hollywood. It's rampant.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, and Oprah, is the poster child for it, right? I mean, here we've seen this public person struggle with her weight all of her professional life.
She did the liquid diet in the 80s.
Oh, yep. Oh,
and my mom did it. And my mom was tiny. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's where I got my frame. Like, I was like, I don't understand. She was tiny, but she was like seriously skinny fat. She was just sort of like walking around and then she ate food and
gained it all back. Being married to a football coach, this is something, and I did lose weight before I got married. like for the wedding, like once we got engaged, fortunately, Jeff met me when I was at a high point. And so I'm like, oh, he loved me, whether I was a big girl or not. I mean, okay, so that's true love right there. And so then I lost weight before we got married, as that was my inspiration. I was working out twice a day. I would try to only eat one meal a day, and then I would work out again at night. Now, sometimes that one meal was a bowl of Captain Crunch, but it was one meal. I mean, that's how screwed up I was.
Listen, it was the early 90s, something like that.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
I mean, to be fair, it was the Captain Crunch with crunch berries. So I was getting a fruit in there. I'm teasing. I'm totally teasing.
Yeah, I'm like, I do remember when my parents got divorced, we stayed with our dad. We totally manipulated him, and we had Captain Crunch at his house, and I loved Captain Crunch.
Oh, I could eat a bowl.
We were never allowed sugar cereals, but Dad felt guilty, so.
Oh, yeah, you played that one up.
Oh, yeah, we did. We played that well. But even last week, honey, when you did your fast, I was really worried about you.
Oh my gosh. I thought I was stroking out. So I did a fast, just to clarify. So I did a fast, and I don't do it for weight loss. It's a fast mimicking diet. So it's a 5-day fasting. You're eating like 750 calories a day or something. So you have soups that you eat. But I do it because there is research that shows the cellular regeneration that you can do by fasting is significant. And like I've read about cancer patients before who, restrict in fact, my friend Susie, when she was going through chemo, like for 4 days before she got her chemo treatment, she would deplete her calories to, less than 800 calories a day, because there was this theory of cellular regeneration when your body goes into a starvation state. And like the good cells flourish when the bad cells don't survive, because the bad cells are surviving on sugar and, bad fat. So if you deplete that out of your system, then the good cells are able to regenerate and make you healthier. So that's why I love doing this fast. I love it and hate it. But could I function on day 5 at night? I couldn't. We had to cancel. I couldn't think. I was in the middle of a presentation, and it was a Zoom meeting, and this was earlier in the day, and I couldn't think of the word competitor. Like I'm saying, okay, the difference between our product and our, and I'm like having to switch my sentence mid-sentence so that they don't think I'm an idiot because I can't find that word, that means the people that have the other product. I'm like, shit, I am like, your brain
done.
Needs fuel, and I was not giving my brain fuel.
In this menopause world, which it definitely has to be a topic of a later date, but I thought that intermittent fasting or that kind of fasting isn't good for women in menopause.
Okay, but I thought that Dr. Mary
Claire Haver.
Yes, I thought she said that intermittent fasting was good. Like not eating from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., like a 12-hour intermediate.
I thought that for intermittent,
yes.
Intermittent. I thought it is good except for menopausal women. But I could be wrong. There's another doctor who everyone should know about, Dr. Stacy Sims. She's incredible. And she's an athlete, and she trains athletes. She's a doctor, and she talks about all the things that menopausal women need to know about staying strong. But that's for a later date. But first of all, I'm very sorry about Susie.
Oh, she went through it.
How old was she?
This was 3 years ago. She's
okay.
So she was 48.
Okay. I'm assuming breast cancer.
Mm-hmm. Breast cancer. But it was stage 1. They found it early. Good. And she went through chemo and just had a lumpectomy, and she flew through it like a champ. And yeah.
Changes everything, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh.
That's the thing. This is not about Ozempic anymore, but as you know, Josh had stage 3 colon cancer with no symptoms.
Get your
no symptoms.
colons checked.
Yes. Colonoscopies, everybody. Colonoscopies. I think from that experience and just like thinking about Susie, you just don't know what people are going through ever.
Yeah.
Like in your life. And so, bringing it back to trying to talk to someone that might be different than you and have different thoughts and ideas, or like you just don't know what's going on in their life.
Totally.
And when someone you love, whether it be Susie or Josh or whomever, my sweet friend Beth, you just don't ever know what's going on. Are you thinking of going on Ozempic?
100%.
You are.
Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat. And I haven't gone to the doctor yet to do it. But yes, I've got 2 weddings coming up. I'm telling you, it's the mindset.
You want your food noise to stop.
Yeah, I want to be able to be happy with what I look like. I work out. I eat right for the most part. I mean, I've got a few, yes, maybe I shouldn't have potato chips at lunch or, but I know how to do it. If I just had a little bit of help from a shot, oh, hell yes, I would do it.
Do you think maybe you could look at the slow and low option?
Yes, and so I think...
one of the reasons I was doing all this research was for you.
Was for me?
Yes,
Thanks,
honey.
Friend.
Yes, because in the last session we talked about, you were like, I take it, and I'm like, okay, hold on. I need to find out everything I can find out before my friend takes this.
God,
and so
okay, now you've taken it on
it's
for
all
yourself.
about dosing and management.
Okay.
Make sure and do all the things. Like, still eat well, still lift the weights.
Yep.
Because then, to me, it does seem like there's some really amazing things that these GLP-1s, these peptides can do for your heart, which I know you have heart stuff, for your brain, for tissues, regeneration of, cartilage and all kinds of good stuff. But, we're all a chemistry experiment, right? We really are.
Isn't it funny if you were to look at this through the lens of the COVID vaccine and how
we're going to go there.
People, well, I'm just saying, there were so many people, who said, I'm not putting that crap in my body because I don't know what it does. I don't know what it is, that stood on the table for not taking that vaccine. But by golly, give you a shot of something that helps you lose weight, and you're like, well, hell yeah, sign me up.
Right. Or give me a Cheeto, or give me a beer, or give me a whatever.
Yeah.
I know it's wild. It is wild. We're all, human beings are filled with contradiction all the time, right?
Yeah.
And what works for me doesn't work for you, or...
Yeah.
But that, the vaccination thing just was complete politics. Like, there was no room left for science and health and facts and...
Well, I would say the facts were dependent on who you were listening to.
Absolutely.
Now they, come out and say that ivermectin might be the miracle drug of the world. But at the time, we were told it was a horse shot.
Right.
And, and how stupid people were to consider taking that. And now that narrative has changed, that, okay, wait, there are benefits to that. But doesn't this even go back, though, to our pharmaceutical industry?
But even doing the research, Jolene, with the, excuse me to interrupt you, but going back to Ozempic, even in the research, I'm thinking to myself, if all of these doctors know, like, I listened and read a ton of stuff on this, all of these really smart functional medicine doctors, and a functional medicine doctor is someone that looks at your whole body, your whole health, your sleep, your sex, you name it, looks at your food, looks at your exercise, your mental health, all the things. If they're saying, you know what, there is benefit in a tiny bit, why the fuck is Novartis putting an amount that it is like a horse tranquilizer for a 6-year-old to an 80-year-old, from a 60-pound person or whatever, a 160-pound person to a 400-pound person? That doesn't make sense to me. That's the part where I'm like, hey, Novartis, how about making a smaller dose? I don't understand. I'm not a doctor. Why wouldn't you make a smaller dose and have less side effects?
Right.
And maybe it just works, or maybe it's just good. And then with the pharmaceuticals, why the fuck does it cost $5 and it's $60 in Europe and it's $1,800 here? And that's when I was listening to all this stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, these companies are just like, you Americans, you
fat Americans.
You fat Americans. And not just you fat Americans. We are a country without universal health care, right? So we have to pay for it. And so they're like, so now this is going to cost $1,800.
We've got some money to make.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So if you go to your doctor, please try to do slow and low. Just try at least.
No, I want a big old shot first. I just want, give me that big old shot, and I won't eat for like 13 days.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I'm going to drop the weight, and then
great.
I'll be so thin.
That's the takeaway, you guys. That's the takeaway.
No, it's not. I won't do that. I promise I won't do that.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Shall we talk about a good for the soul thing?
Yes. I love that.
There is an Instagram account called, I have it in my notes.
What a pretty blouse, by the way.
Thank you. I feel like
gorgeous.
we're color coordinated. Thank you very much.
Is that a tax write-off? Could we get new wardrobe? And
Listen, girl, we got to get more subscribers.
Please download this podcast and tell all of your friends to download it so we can get some new shirts. Please.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Instagram.
Good,
yes.
Good for the soul. Good for the soul. It's art_dose. Art_dose. I'll put in the show notes. And it's the biggest art page. That's what it is. It's all kinds of cool art that people do, but it can be still or it could be motion. It's really beautiful. And it's just like an incredible, just sensorial experience for your eyes.
Did you know that you can take a picture of something, of anything, and then in Google, go to your Google app, and there's a camera on there, and you can take a picture of something. Mm-hmm. So let's say it's a chair, piece of furniture, and push enter, and it will tell you what that item is and how much it is and where to find it. So my friend Julie just did that this weekend. We have this glass etching in our house that was in my great-great-grandmother's house. And when they tore her house down, they took this, it was in her back door of her house. And my mom says, I can always remember going to her great-grandma's house. It's, an etching that was in her back door, in the window of her back door. And so now we have it, and we put it above our pantry. And so Julie took a picture of it to see what the value of it is. She goes, do you know you could do this? And I'm like, no, I didn't even know that. And that just made me think when you said about art. I'm like, okay,
that sounds like a mobile antique roadshow.
Yeah, exactly. She goes,
phone.
if you could be at a garage sale and go, I wonder if that painting
is actually a Rembrandt.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, mine is on Instagram, America the Possible.
Oh,
have you seen that?
No.
I think it's a group that has started making America better by making Americans smarter. And it talks about, it's just quick little nuggets of this was how the Constitution was started, or this is why we have, yes. He's so cute. What does a lobbyist do? And it's just these little microbites. Yes. I mean, it's nonpartisan.
Yes.
So far.
So far. Let's hope.
Far.
Oh,
keep it going.
Speaking of, shout out to Tangle again. Isaac Saul is back from paternity leave. And, and I thought it was really, really interesting how he talked about, they call themselves a big media tent where everyone is welcome. And it's not about changing people's minds. They are not partisan, that they are not centrist, and that all their staff is equal, libs and conservatives together. And that they work towards that, and that they felt that they needed to say this again, because I think we're all so used to picking a side. Like, we are now trained to pick a side, that They're like, yo, that's not what we're doing here. We're actually trying to be journalists and trying to present an unbiased. You make your own decision. Listen, I am also really just biding time because I don't have a would you rather.
Okay, well, let me go first.
You go first, and then you might have to help me. And at some point, I really think it would be so awesome if we got our listeners to write in would you rather questions for each other.
Would love
but I don't
that.
know how that works to keep each other surprised, but we'll figure that out.
Can we have that on our website?
I think we will. I mean, we will have it on our website.
All right, here's yours. Ready? Because I was thinking about you, all the flying that you do and all of your travels.
Oh,
so,
boy.
Would you rather sit next to a smelly person on a 4-hour flight? And I'm talking smelly.
No,
like,
I know.
I mean,
You're talking like Subway, New York summer.
yeah. I mean, they
like you want to barf kind of smell.
They made some really bad food, and they were still wearing the clothes that they made that food in, and they were smoking cigarettes at the same time, and they had body odor, and they've been sweating. I mean, It's all okay. So you've got that person next to you, or the person next to you has a yippy dog that you have to listen to for 4 hours. And you can hear it. You can hear it over. You've got your headphones in, but you can still hear this. And you can look down because that yippy dog is underneath the seat in front of you in a carrier. And it wants out. And it's just yipping for 4 hours.
This is actually really hard because I don't know what this is going to sound like for our conservative audience, but Josh and I started wearing masks again on the plane. We started in December because we travel all the time, and we were getting crazy sick. And it was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just we're going to, look like the freaks, and we're putting our masks back on because we got the norovirus in December, and it was ugly.
Oh, yeah, that's
it
right.
was bad. It was bad. It was, oh my God, grab the bucket bad. It was that bad. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to have a mask on with this really smelly person. I am a huge dog lover, but the barking drives me fucking bananas. So you gave me two really good ones. Because I don't, as you know, I just don't like smelly. Like, I'm not into smelly at all. Patchouli bugs me. Like a smelly person for 4 hours? It's got I can't, I'll take the fucking yippy dog. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll take the yippy dog.
All right.
All right.
That's a good one.
Oh my God. Would you rather eat soup, your little bits of soup, for the rest of your life, or be 10 pounds overweight?
Oh, God, that's horrible.
I figured
that's
it was
a really
topical.
Good one.
Thank you, ma'am. You're teaching me.
No, I'd have to go with the crappy soup. And that soup is so...
You're so beautiful. I don't get it.
Okay, well, do I lose weight by the soup? If I eat the soup, do I lose weight?
No. You just have to eat
Well, why the hell am I eating the soup then?
I don't know. I mean, maybe you lose some weight. I can't believe that 10 pounds is a thing. I mean, I know, I get it.
Oh, wait. And am I adding 10 pounds to what I weigh right now?
Wow. I really need to prepare a would you rather next time because you have way too many questions for me.
I mean, this all goes into the thought process. If it's 10 pounds more, if I am unhappy at the weight that I am right now, and you're telling me that my choices are to gain another 10 pounds and be like that for the rest of my life, or eat really crappy soup for the rest of my life.
And not remember the word competitor.
Oh,
listen,
God.
You, girl, I landed, and granted, I was exhausted Thursday, but I'm like, after the launch, I'm like, we got to do this. Yay. I'm so excited. And then, but I was like, oh, I don't know. And so I text you and you're like, oh, thank God. I'm dying over here. I'm dying. 5 days, girl, you were dying. You were dying. And now I'm saying, would you rather be 10 pounds heavier or be that for the rest of your life?
Okay, well, I can't be that for the rest of my life.
Right. Listen, you are so funny. If your brain's gone, you're not going to be as funny.
Oh. Okay, but am I cuter? Because if I'm thinner...
Listen, you're so cute now.
Stop it.
It's true. It's true. Listen.
See, those are the extents that we go to.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, that's obviously the issue.
Yeah.
How fucked up is our world?
I mean, yeah. Okay.
On that note,
I had a call the other day with somebody, and she goes, "I'm sorry, my whole family has gotten the flu. We're just getting over it." And I go, "Yeah, but did you lose any weight?" She's like, "Yeah, I am down 4 pounds." And I'm like, "Probably not all bad, was it?" I mean, that's the thought that goes through my head.
I know. I actually thought during COVID, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to get super fit because all I'm going to do is work out." And I'm like, in that first couple months, we're baking bread and cookies, and I'm like, I'm so fucking fat. What am I doing?
But you did. No one saw you, so it didn't matter.
There you go. No one saw.
Oh,
All
my
right,
friend,
doll.
another great conversation.
Yes, thank you very much.
We thank all of our listeners and our subscribers. Please hit the subscribe button. We have realized, and we've been told, that the more subscriptions and downloads that we get, the better our content will be.
Yeah.
No, okay. Not really.
That's not true. But we're on YouTube. You can watch our mugs. You can see our crazy faces. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're wherever you get your podcasts. Oh, and you can follow us on Instagram at We've Got to Talk. And give us your would you rather questions. Help a girl out, please. Listen.
Yeah. Give us good ones.
Give us good ones. Dirty is okay too, even though Jeff doesn't want dirty. Dirty is okay.
Jeff says don't be dirty.
Jeff says don't be dirty. We could be a little dirty. Maybe.
A little bit. Yeah.
Maybe.
Thanks,
All right, my
everybody.
friend. I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Love you. Bye.